Alright guys, and here's the finished product. Our turtle nesting box is complete, and as you can see, it sits very nicely right in line with the level of our 300-gallon Rubbermaid stock tank. And it's designed to use a cement mixing tub, which is what you see here. It's got a good depth to it. It'll allow plenty of digging. And it's large enough that it won't feel cramped. So the lumber itself is mostly 2x4s and 2x3s. That's how it's constructed. I won't go into detail with the exact cuts or the exact dimensions for this thing, because it is something that I just kind of threw together with the scrap material that I had sitting around. But you can see that the cement mixing tub is being carried by these three beams here. It's actually quite heavy when it's full of dirt. And the entire lip of this mixing tub is also resting on that wooden frame as well. So it's supported on the bottom and on all of the sides, which is pretty important. In terms of the substrate itself, it's about a 50-50 mix of play sand, and we've got some peat moss in there as well, sphagnum peat moss, and it's good. It keeps its, it kind of retains its moisture, but it also drains, which is a perfect combination when a turtle is looking to lay its eggs. And as you'll notice, we repurposed the basking platform that was kind of floating out in the middle. Now that has become a ramp. We have some stainless steel eye bolts here, which are connected to other eye bolts here to kind of hold this ramp in place. Again, we've got the hardware mesh being featured pretty prominently in this build. First of all, to make the side walls here on the two ends, and then also the side walls and kind of a guiding fence on the front here, but also on the bottom portion here to help the turtles get in and out of the nesting box, especially when there's a small gap between the nesting box and the Rubbermaid stock tank. So that is, I believe it's 1/2 inch mesh, so it's small enough that the turtles can walk over that comfortably, and that transitions very nicely into the wooden ramp there to slide back down into the stock tank. And then, of course, on the front we do have a piece of plexiglass. It's throwing quite a bit of glare right now because we haven't moved these lights yet, which were above the stock tank, but that will come in good time. We do have our mercury vapor bulb here, which is over the ramp right now, acting as a temporary basking solution until I create another basking platform out in the water. But what we do have here is a ceramic heat emitter, and the idea here is once that's plugged in and running, we will have a warm side to this nesting box, and then we will have a cool side to the nesting box, and that will allow the turtles to kind of come and go as they please and hang out in whatever temperature suits them best. Anyone who's familiar with other reptile species, this is a very common practice, a hot side and a cooler side. And then we've just used some of our fake plants here to provide a little bit of cover, maybe make the female a little bit more receptive to hiding her nesting site in the shrubs a little bit. I haven't noticed the turtles entering the basking platform of their own accord, or the nesting box for that matter, but I did just set it up. I did put them in it just to see how they would react, and as you can imagine, they sniffed around a little bit. I'm sure that I will be getting quite a few scratches, claw scratches, on the bottom like inch or two of this piece of plexiglass over time. But all in all, I think it's a pretty solid construction, pretty solid build. There's a lot of staples holding this mesh in place so that the turtles can't push their way through and escape. And I'm pretty confident that the way this is constructed in the front is going to allow the turtles easy access into the nesting box and then back out without necessarily allowing them to kind of climb over the side and fall out of the tank. That's primarily what these wings are for here, to kind of keep them on track back into the tank itself. A nice kind of little side bonus to putting the mesh underneath here is it also gives the turtles a place to kind of latch onto to kind of catch their breath while they're swimming, and I have seen them do that quite a few times. I'm going to grab our smallest turtle here and just put him in the basking platform, actually the nesting box, for the first time, just for your own amusement. It's good to see how they react to changes in their environment. It's also good to let them know that this option exists for them now, because they haven't really been able to walk on dry land like this in the past. And what you will notice is because this turtle is wet, it's going to pick up quite a bit of that sand and peat moss on itself. And one idea here with putting this gap is to allow a little bit of separation between where all of this material lives and where the water lives, because turtles will track all of that material on themselves into the water. Oftentimes when they splash back into the water, you'll see a giant cloud of sand or peat moss or whatever material you're using enter the water. So it's good to kind of give a little bit of a gap. I would actually rather have the material fall onto the floor where I can vacuum it every week or two, as opposed to getting a ton of it in the tank. But it's kind of inevitable. It's going to happen. So a lot of people suggest using the same substrate in the nesting box that you use in the bottom of the tank, because they're going to mix whether you'd like to or not. So I think the half play sand, half sphagnum moss peat moss is a good option. Clearly he doesn't know what plexiglass is, seeing his own reflection in the plexiglass. So let's put him back on the ramp so he can find his way back into the water where he belongs. Obviously diamondback terrapins spend most of their time in the water, but as my female is pregnant, this was a project that I did need to get up and running and operational very quickly. So this is kind of what it looks like. This is how it functions. I'm pretty happy with the result. I think it's going to be something that will last quite a while, and it's pretty well built, and it is fairly mobile as well, so I can pick this up and move it around as I need to in the future. It actually kind of resembles a chicken coop in a way. But anyways guys, I hope you found that useful, and I'll see you guys later.